Slightly more unusual commission on this winter's or late autumn's day today. A French client has asked me to do a picture from the past, many years ago, about 30-40 years ago in Bridlington, of these bathers or people in deck chairs on the beach. We've got this lovely luminosity of the figures behind the deck chair stripes showing through. So what they wanted was the same picture with their dog in it as well, the border collie here, and also their children in too. So we've got this figure here coming into here, and back of that one's head there, and then the parents over there. Well, I've just got to fit the dog in somewhere, possibly in here I think, not have much room otherwise. And then I want to make this very impressionist feel, making the colours stronger than they are here, making them nice and shine and brilliant, using the broken colour technique, which I've shown you before, but we're going to be showing you that again, where I put little dabs of colour on as an impressionist to give this lovely vibrance of light of the beach and a sunny day. Okay, let's have a go at that then, and we'll use flat brushes and show you the techniques as we go along. I've got a 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch flat here, which should do for most of it, I reckon. The next thing we've got to do is get the dog in, so let's have a go at that, where to fit that in. As I say, I seem to have two choices. One is to fit the dog in here, on the beach there, or down here, just lying. Might be an idea here, it'll look quite nice just here. We could just fit a dog in there. Either it's going to be just the head and so on coming in here, or might be too much, might actually detract too much there. So I think possibly, even though I like the idea of putting a dog in there, I think it's going to take the focal point away from this area here as we lead in. So I think the dog's head over here would be the best bet, in which case it's going to be something about this size, I've got a feeling. How low down to have it? Ball's coming ahead there. We'll just come down there with the black on it. The dog, I think that should work, and then if I bring that dog in behind here, make that dark in the background there, right through there, that should work, shouldn't it? Well, I like to start with the sky on these and the horizon, just the mid-tones, and work my way down, I think. I want a nice broken colour sky, so I'm going to start off with a mid-blue. I'm going to start off with a slightly turquoise cerulean blue. Plenty of paint at first, and let's just get it coloured. Right the way across here. Nice thick paint. Shan't put too much water with it, just want to get colour on. All the way across here. Nice and heavy. That's the beauty of this heavy body acrylic, is that we can lather it on like oils. And this has been setting a while in my palette, so it's had a bit of time to thicken up a little bit anyway. Now I want to go a bit warmer, so I'm going to go up to a cerulean at the top here. And what I'm going to do to get the broken colour effect then is to blend the other down and in with short brush strokes like this. So we'll come across and we'll just blend like that, tip of the brush, and then I'm going to bring that one into this one, with little crisscross brush strokes like this, before I start to put the other colours into that. And we'll just bring one into the other, just to, so we're not actually blending in softly, just bringing one colour into another. And I want to come down to an even greener colour at the bottom there. And I'll put a wee touch of water just to get it going. And let's look at this lovely, almost turquoisey blue at the bottom here. And again, I want to do the same thing with that. I'm going to put a little bit of white into that, just, and then we'll bring that all the way along the horizon line here. So interesting to paint a small painting again. I've got so used to doing the bigger ones that I can almost cover this in a matter of seconds, which is good if I'm doing studies in plein air, because obviously I can capture the light while it's there. It doesn't change quickly. Right, now then again the same thing, bring this colour into this with these little brush strokes. Get rid of any bits of canvas, want any of that canvas showing. Bringing this light turquoise up into the sky, into here. Get the feeling of Mediterranean blue and warmth. There we go. And this is going to play against the very light pinks and creams we're going to do shortly down below, because the sea here is reflecting the light right back up and in. Go right up into here, the effect of broken colour and light. Right up into there. And I'm even going to take a little bit of a deeper blue and a little touch of ultramarine, because I want to go just up here and just that a little bit stronger still with the broken colour. So a little bit of ultramarine just to make it even warmer up here, and that's going to make that scene much cooler down here. You see what's happening there? Let's just play one against the other. So if you want something warmer, we can make something cooler next to it. We don't have to put warmer on. Something lighter, we can put darker next to it. We don't have to put darker on. It's the opposite. It's rough next to smooth, light next to dark, warm next to cool, and we can make this thing work just by putting opposites together. Putting those colours just down into there to give that lovely blue. Now that seems quite dark at the moment, but in fact once we get the light colours down below, it'll start to make more sense. Now this here is white put in at the end, but I want that pinky yellow in first, that slightly orangey pink first of all. So I'm going to start with my white and add colour to it rather than the other way around. A little bit of magenta into that. Looks nice. Should be a bit warmer, a bit more of a red magenta, and a little touch of chrome right down with that. Maybe I've made that a bit dark. I'll have to go to try it out first and see. Yes, a little bit too dark, just a bit more white into there. That should be alright, let's try that. Yeah, that's about right. I want that to go all the way along here to a nice straight line. All the way along here. I'll tidy it up in a minute. Now if you weren't able to do a fairly straight line along here, let it dry and put some masking tape along over the sky there so that you get this edge masked off. If you have trouble with acrylics, you can do that fairly quickly. Just let them dry off. Then come back and put your masking tape over the joint. You can paint your line in afterwards using the tape edge to mask it off. There we go. Little impressions piece we're doing. Use my finger just to blend a little bit there. And I'm going to come back in with some white there later. I want to go a little bit stronger at the top edge here, so make that colour just that little bit stronger up here where the sun's going to be. I come back here with a slightly more turquoise green, I think, just a bit, and that bit there. Going to make these adjustments as we go along. Slightly warmer yellowy green. There's just, again, I want to make these colours sing, vibrate, so I'm just using a yellow green into this bit here just to play the warm against the cool again. These opposites of colours. This warmer green just playing it against these. There we go. Now when you've got the colour on your brush, if you see it anywhere else, then that's the time to do it. So whilst I'm on this, we've got this sort of green coming down into here. And any pencil marks are going to be fixed with the acrylic. The acrylic medium and the acrylic paint will fix this pencil, so you won't see those. When I paint over it with another layer of paint, it'll just disappear altogether. When there's a colour on your brush, you use it. You don't need to keep going back and mixing paint again. Keep comparing these colours all over. Never have one part of the painting, normally anyway, I have to say there's a rule to everything, but rules to be broken. It's better to keep the whole painting going comparatively, and be able to make sure that everything is right comparative one to another across the whole painting. If you just finish one part, irrespective of the rest of the painting, the chances are that's going to be wrong later. So if we get it right from the beginning, it's going to be much better, much more secure. I'm using the paint fairly thinly at the moment. I've got a mixture here that's going on nice and easily. I can go over it again later on. Just want to get my base coats on. And that pinky colour actually comes all the way down through here with blues and so on going on in between, so let's just lighten this up a little bit. Mix it with the earlier orange, bring that down here. As a glaze, it's really thin paint now at the moment. I'm going to bring the blues and the greys over here with thicker paint in a minute. Now there's an overall yellow going on here. I'm going to put brighter yellows on in a minute. What I want to get on first of all is a mixture of a light yellow ochre. So white again first. A touch of the yellow ochre, but I want a golden yellow at the moment. I don't want a bright yellow yet. And I'm going to paint my whole canvas with that. I need to bring this up a bit now because it's on the edge and I want to get the edge of the canvas painted. There we go. One colour comes into another, so don't worry if a bit of the previous colours tend to come into the painting. We don't want a painting that's just blue sea, green waves and green grass and brown soil and everything just cut out. We do want to have one colour reflecting into another. Nice yellow ochre, not. I'm going to be using the stronger yellows a bit later. I want to start off with my mid-tones really first of all, and then come to lights and darks as I go along. Dark's got to be a part of it, so I'm going to have to use similar colours to what I'm already putting in to paint the dog in a minute. Not to suddenly go to black, but you know, if I've used deep blues for the darks, I'm going to have to use deep blues in the same for the. You see, I'm just starting to bring these colours up into the sea now and above. Let's see, one colour against another changes even the look of the colours, because this now looks quite orange compared to the other colours around. I'm going to put more actual yellow down here rather than yellow ochre shortly. So I'm happy to be painting. If I was painting out of doors in plein air, I'd be painting the same way. Just comparing one colour to another and we're all cooler. So we'll do much more with that as I go along. I'm going to put the much darker colours in a minute now, the darks of the deck chair. Just worrying about bringing some of this orange into the sky slightly, just to give the effect of clouds, warmer clouds wisping up into here. Now I'm going to go to a slightly darker blue, but also a little touch of warmth into that, purple. So I'm going to take my Prussian blue, which is a lovely dark. Let it show what that's like on its own. See it? You can see how dark that is compared to that. That's going to come down right through these areas here. I can go darker than this. You see, I'm using it slightly thinned down. It's not quite as dark as it would be if it was neat paint. Just to give a basic and lose this white canvas at the moment that I'm so insistent on getting rid of because it's a nuisance. Oh, that's it. I'm just going to mix a little bit of this deep blue with a touch of the previous colours, and I just want to put the distant cliffs in here. They're coming out just here. I'm going to go back over this with some lighter colours, of course, yeah. I've got the very light waves and the reflections to put in yet. Just using the tip of my brush to almost scumble in edges of waves, and so you don't just stick in one place and finish one part. Just make sure you keep all of the relative colours going one to another all the time. When it's on your brush, use it. Don't keep going back and washing your brush. There's no point. Use up the colour on your brush wherever it's going to be, and that way you keep the whole painting going at once. That's what we're after. And how these blues are even coming through onto the sand itself. It's not just one yellow sand. We've got the colours reflecting off the sky and off the sea into areas around the sand here like this. Fine tuning can come later. Let's just get these colours blocked in and sorted first of all. Playing between the blues and the warmer blues and the cooler blues with the amount of alizarin I'm putting in. Just indicating the darks and the shadows down here, not having an impression. The whole thing is an impressionist painting. As I'm working from an old painting, it's not working from the original studies that I had with the photographs that I had then. I have no idea where those are by now. I know I gave a load away to my students over there at the time, so they could carry on working from them and enjoying working my mid-tones out to my light and out to my darks, again backwards and forwards. And I haven't put the highlights in yet. I'm going to go right back on the highlights a bit later. I've got the oranges to put in here. A bit of cadmium orange coming in there. Not too bright yet, just feel our way in. You can see we're really getting the painting to start looking like a painting now, start looking like the objects we want now. The subtleties between other warms and cools in here. Now that dog is lighter, so probably going back to the original sort of pink yellow we had, because I've had to put him in since. Let's have a look. And that pink yellow was white. We start thinking about the lighter colours actually next. So now we're to go back to our real yellows, our cadmiums and lemons and so on, and we can start to make those sing on the sand. Take a break now. Okay, brief break for lunch and we're back. And we're going to start into the actual stronger yellows and colours now. We'll have the orange first. This orange that we've got on coming to the sand here, I think. Have a bit more of that going on. And maybe a touch of red in places as well. Let's get that really. Using some natural yellow into this, which will make this seem much more golden because the yellow will be yellower. So as I've been saying, we're using the opposites. So the opposites in tone, light and dark, the opposites in texture, rough and smooth, but also the opposites in colour hues, warm and cools. So it's broadening the spectrum of these hues out more now. Right, now I want to really start to make the sound happen. I'm going to go to my yellows and go to a light, a bright yellow first of all, a cadmium yellow. Cadmium light will be alright for this. Bit of white in it, and we'll just see what happens as we start to play with that. Things starts to liven up straight away. We haven't really gone at night yet. Just want to feel the sunlight coming through into the sound here. Get the warmth and the heat. I might have to go down to a slightly smaller brush to feel my way around these areas, the dog and so on. Let's just really go down to a smaller brush there now. There we go, we're getting there now. Maybe we need a little bit of this very light pink, just set me down into the... Right, now with the shadows here, I want to push those opposites a little bit more, and I want that green to come into there just a bit more. So I'm going to take some emerald and just add a little bit of that coming down here. To really push this sunlight coming through the... See the difference that makes against the pinks. Because we're playing this opposite of green to red a little bit here now. Even down here it's going to be a bit like that, a little bit of that green just coming down through here into these to feel those opposites. Right, now the final touches of this I've got to go along with almost pure white, I think. Just a little touch of cream in it to catch this sunlight along the top here. That's really going to make a difference. Look at that. As the light now shines out across the water. Across the top here. Use a slightly dry brush to give the feeling of it. Texture along there. So I'm using fairly heavy paint on this now to try and get this effect. Just dry brushing it along there over the surface of the canvas to get the glimmer of the... Try and get the glimmer of the... See, it's cream, a little white with a little tiny touch of the yellow. Not too much of this cream going elsewhere. Just little bits here and there. We're almost there already with this painting, you know, I think. Well, I think we're nearly there, really, you know. There's a lot more I can do on this without having most of these to work from. I don't think we're far out on the heads and the foreground. I just put a bit more green in here and there, just to a bit more turquoise perhaps here and there, just to in the actual original there's some dark colours. Look at these purples, there's some lovely purples going on amongst this too in places. So I think we'll just bring things out a bit more as well. Because the purple is opposite to the yellow, and that's going to also make things sing a bit more. Put a bit more to the dog here, push it back a bit. Whether I need to do a bit more in the sky? Sky's nice, but it brings out the... I'm tempted to just work on the sky a little more. Not quite sure what it needs, but I'm going to just try a larger brush and just put a bit more pink into that sky. A very light glaze. Otherwise that sky's just a bit too much of a black. we haven't got any very warm reds. I just wanted to see if a little warmer red here and there just... Yes, here we go. It just needs to pull out against the cooler reds. I think I've just got there now. Yep, I think that'll do it. Right, we'll photograph that one and see what they think.